Hey, good morning. Oh, I know. Look at that hair. It was so fuzzy this morning from it being curly and me wearing it outside yesterday. And then it got so tangled I couldn't not brush it. So it ended up being a big fuzz ball. So I straightened it and I'm hoping to with the makeup kind of blend some kind of look. Do you have your coffee? Where's Frankie, you ask? Well, he is feeling back to normal. We got his allergy shot yesterday, and he is feeling normal again. Thank God. I just worry about the poor little thing. Frankie, Sir Frankie, jump. Good boy. Here he is. Look at that boy. Hello. How are you? You're such a good, handsome boy. Well, I fall in love with the stoic ones, right? Excuse me. Allergies have been getting me too. Okay. So I think I'm losing my color acuity. I don't know. Maybe I'll need to go get an eye exam here pretty soon. Because I'm not, I think I'm questioning enough colors all at the same time. Like the colors in my office, the colors of my skin just in the last few days. I wonder, did I get a head injury? I don't know. But if you have it, especially if you have insurance or if you have money and you spend it on clothes or jewelry or handbags, people will say, well, I just don't want to have to pay this or that for my health care. Come on. You can buy a purse. You can afford an eye checkup. They're not expensive. So I'm going to put that on my list of things to look into. Thank you very much. I hate leaving my home because the traffic is so bad. Matter of fact, I'm too young for most people to not drive. But honestly, I don't think I'm going to buy another car. I don't. I think it's just going to serve me much better to not have a car. And sometimes I wonder how anybody's going to afford these new cars. How many people are going to be able to afford a new car when they're close to $100,000, $50,000? I don't know. Get away from the news. Come back. All I can do is deal with what I got today. Which brings me to a topic. Besides me, I put on a load of CeraVe on my face this morning. I mean, a load. It would be like if I were going to put on makeup right afterwards, I would have known it would have just been a mess. So, oh man, I got caught in some wind yesterday and I'm seeing some debris from the fire pit. Dang it. Oh man, well, all that work was straightening my hair. I'm gonna have to take a shower later and change my sheets. Who knows how much of this is already falling out. Look at all those little black specks. I was standing in front of the fire pit. I did not even feel it. Well, ash is so light. Huh? Well, nobody will see it but me and you. Oh, gosh. I'm a heathen. Frankie, do you care? Hi. Hi. Nope. Does not care. Hi, baby. Yeah, he loves looking out that window. Me too. Okay. So anyway, I have all this on. So I am prepared to lather up some makeup. I'm going to use this even though I think it's going to be too orange. I'm going colorblind, so it doesn't matter. And I'm old enough now that if I mess up my makeup, people will just feel sorry for me. They won't judge me. Like, oh, that pretty girl, she put on her makeup so bad. Ha ha. Oh, I remember those days. Now it's like, oh, that old lady put on her makeup so bad. Poor thing. Okay, so I'm going to talk about forgiveness. Oh, I know. Well, here's the deal. Screw forgiveness. If you have to work hard at forgiving somebody, then there's a good possibility that it wouldn't be a smart thing to do. People have really gotten into this Hallmark card mentality this last 50 years. Hallmark, love means not having to say you're sorry and all that la-di-da. And if you really love someone, you'll forgive them, or forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. I don't know, all kinds of ridiculous stuff. But here's the thing. Let's do the math. If you're having trouble forgiving someone, think about it. Do you think maybe it's because you shouldn't? You shouldn't. Bear with me. Now, if it's someone you love and you want to maintain a relationship, or someone who's valuable to you in whatever way, and so you feel like it would benefit you to have harmony in the relationship, understand you can say whatever you want to on the outside. Like, okay, fine, I forgive you. Forgive me. Okay, fine, I forgive you. Or you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say, oh, I forgive you. You can just say, I've let it go. Now let's move on. I've let it go. I'm letting it go. I'm working on letting it go. You don't have to forgive anything. Screw forgiveness. Just let it go. Because as long as you're not forgiving them, you're not letting go. I say skip over forgiveness and practice letting go with change thought, with tapping. You can Google those on YouTube. And practice self-value. I'm staying in this marriage even though I don't want to. I'll never forgive him. That's what a waste of energy. Or I'm staying at this job even though they didn't give me the promotion. What a miserable way to live. When you could just say, you know what? I have agreed with myself. He's always cleaning like a cat. Oh, that leg is so clean. No, it's not. You've been in the mud, haven't you? All right. But you know you're distracting. Hey, come on, quit. You're distracting. Oh, I know. I have a... Look who's here. Mr. Dinosaur. Right? There's ways to change your neural pathway from holding on to a certain thought and changing thought. So you go stop thought, change thought. Tree, leaves, branches, bark, brown, dark brown, black, red roof, flying flag. See, I changed my mind from going from something that was resentful, that was rotating and rotating, ruminating and ruminating, which is a waste of calories. And it's a waste of all these brain chemicals that keep your body tense. And the thing is, you're reliving it over and over and over again in a way. You'll have to get down and get it yourself. I am not getting up. I got stuff to do. Fell on the floor. I usually pick it up for him, but I hit myself in the head yesterday, so I'm not going to do it today. He'll get it himself. So when you value yourself and your freedom from anxiety enough, you know what? This makeup goes on so good. I don't know why I keep stroking it with this brush, except that it feels kind of good. Boop. So you're tearing yourself down because you're upset with someone. So you're beating yourself up with all these chemicals, right? I'm not trying to be too logical here, but that is part of my personality. Is if you do the math, I just put that orange makeup. I think it's a little too orange for me. What do you think? I don't know. We'll try. I'm going to put it on the bottom. I'm not going to throw it away because there's still some more in that palette. But I did get this from Rimmel. It's sand. And I think it's going to... I like Rimmel. But now I just put so much powder on my face. We could count my wrinkles. Ugh. I don't know. It's all right. I don't care. I have had some shopping therapy craving going on. I just want to go shopping so bad. I want to buy some new furniture. I do. I want to remodel. So back to forgiveness versus letting go. And I think that's where a lot of people get messed up when they live with somebody or they're working a job. And a lot of people do it. I'm blessed because I love my work. I always have, even when it was hard, even when it is hard. I like to part my hair where I can see the dark gray streaks in it. I don't know why. I just think it's so cool. I got lucky. My girlfriend Cindy has hair like mine too. Oh, speaking of girlfriends, I heard from, I hadn't heard from Eileen, and Linda and Bernice and Anna for a while, a couple days. I missed you. Hi. And then I have Sari and Teddy that said hi. Thank you for taking the time and welcome. Just wanted to reach out and say hi. So there was a lady that I really enjoyed listening to a long time ago. can't remember her name, but I looked for her the other day, and I think it was, I know, BX Flower, you sweetheart, you. I hope the wind is shifting, and I hope that fire, I haven't checked the news because I was getting too strung out, but I'll have to check and see how the conditions are up there for a couple of you gals in New York that have touched base. It feels so good. That, excuse me, I'm sorry. I know this is terrible, but I can't get through without all these allergies bugging me. I'm sorry. Anyway, it makes my day to say hello to y'all, or for you to make a comment and say hello. Seriously, my needs are met. I'm so happy about that. I'm gonna have to mix together some more lavender water. Getting low. Oh, anyway, as I was saying, this lady, BX gal's name reminded me of her because I thought it was RX Grandma. RX Grandma. I may have to look her up. But back in the day, when I first was getting on YouTube and I was looking for chit chat, I just wanted to listen to someone chit chat to keep me company in the back. Not a bunch of political stuff, not a bunch of over opinionated stuff. And you know, I found a lot of channels that had nice chit chat and nice voices. The problem was that, for me, is that most of them were talking about buying expensive purses. And this lady, she was on there talking about growing older. Oh, I remember why I kind of quit watching her. She was so fun. She was sat at her makeup table, and she was like 70, I think she said. I'll have to figure out who she is. I don't know if I haven't seen her for a while, but I kind of quit watching her because she just started doing all these shopping trips, and was doing that, and I don't know. I'm not interested in all this shopping. I want to hear more personal chit chat, and she was so sweet about it at first, for quite a while. I felt like, but I guess people get bored. They want to try something new and different. That's all right. I think I've said it before. I think I've made it perfectly clear. I'm kind of boring. Matter of fact, I can't even believe I'm not paying attention to being a better videographer. See, I should be able to pay attention to if I'm even in the screen. So I'm sorry. I'm glad I get any attention and making any new little relationships and meeting these wonderful, supportive people. I'm so lucky, so blessed. And anyway, that's why I started the channel. I just wanted some company. And here's the secret. Here's the secret formula. One of the big issues with being lonely is that, in my opinion, from my experience personally and professionally watching people, is when someone's lonely, not alone and a little bored, not bored and alone, but lonely. Lonely feels like depression. It feels dark. It feels with the edge of anger, a lot of self-pity, and you mix that into this almost like an alcoholic beverage with the chemicals in the brain that are coming out that just like a sad drunk. Now, it's a whole different feeling. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't been that kind of lonely, where it's causing a little bit of chaos in your brain. And I don't mean just a little bit. There's a difference between being kind of bored, thinking, oh, I'm lonely, I need to go out and make new friends. That's not lonely like what I'm talking about. That's a little bored. Oh, I think I want to meet someone, or I really want to meet someone. That's not the kind of lonely I'm talking about. I'm talking about the deep, dark stuff. It causes a brain reaction that is very hard on the system. And it can be habitual, just like anger. I believe loneliness is the luxury of dubious men, so to speak. Got that out of the AA book. No, it didn't say that exactly, but if you're in the program, you might recognize part of that sentence. What is it? Resentment, anger. And I believe loneliness is a type of resentment. I'm mad because I'm alone. I'm sad because I'm alone. I'm out of energy because I'm alone. It's not fair that I'm alone. And whether you had someone and they died and you had a beautiful love story and you just aren't grateful enough, you're still pouting because you lost that person that was your entertainment, your company. You can put whatever, but if you're living like you're dead because they're dead, that math doesn't add up. Give yourself a break of not being angry for a little while and get back to breathing. When we lose someone we love through death or divorce or illness, we are going to go through changes. It's not about forgiving them. It's about letting go. Because I've worked with some people in hospice, and some of the counselors were like, sometimes you have to be able, when they're working with the family afterwards, after the person passed away, and they're mad because their family member or loved one passes away, and sometimes the counselors say, we have to forgive them for dying. It's like, wait, that's not my philosophy, because we're all going to die. You're going to forgive the flower for blooming? The leaves for falling? No. We have to start letting go of the idea that you have that constant companion. And that big hole in the soul, that gaping emptiness where they used to be, is because everywhere in your narrow pathways, that's where they were. They were right there. Yes. And I have learned through loss, personally and watching people professionally, is sometimes we need to just, people say, forgive yourself. It's not about forgiving you for being human, or me forgiving myself for being human. All that time I spent mourning and grieving, it actually, a lot of people feel guilty when they finally stop grieving. And our culture here isn't the same everywhere. Thank goodness. So letting go instead of forgiving. When we're lonely, letting go that we had, or had a wish, or had a hope, or had a fantasy, or we had it, letting go of that and recognizing, now what do I do? Now what do I do? Letting go, not forgiving, just let go. Yeah. It gets tough. And when people want to get hypnotized or PTSD treatment for the anger that they've had at a spouse, it can be such an addictive thought pattern that it doesn't matter if you have the best EMDR person. If you're not ready to let go, it's not going to work. You cannot be hypnotized against your will in a healthy way. That would be like kidnapping and making you do something you don't want to do, right? So to ask somebody, hire someone, pay someone to help you do something that really you don't want to do, but you just think it's good for you, this is all kind of messed up, right? I know this is a lot of babble. A lot of babble today. I don't know if I'm going to post this one. Holy cow. Yeah. I think letting go of what I had with my godmother, with her dementia, has brought up some other losses in my life. And just so grateful I had them in my life, and so grateful that I've had the teachers in my life that have helped me learn to not pout for too long about the losses. And I know a lot of people, mascara. I know a lot of people get mad. They're very protective of their grief, very self-righteous. Go ahead. It's okay. I get it. Go ahead. Be mad for a while. Be lonely. Let the snot hang out. I don't care. You know why? Because we're human. We're gonna be messy sometimes. I've been messy. Oh my God. One time it took me, other than work, I was on my sofa in my I don't give a shit clothes. And the only time I bathed was when I could smell myself. My loss took over my body. My brain didn't for a minute, this is in recovery, my brain didn't for a minute didn't think I wouldn't feel different someday. I just didn't care for about 4 months when it happened. I cried. I was mad. I talked to a dear friend of mine. Oh my God. I wouldn't sleep. I refused to sleep almost, it was horrible. But I didn't screw up my head enough in recovery to say, I have a right to hold on to this feeling. Otherwise, that relationship didn't mean as much to me. Before recovery, I'd hold on to that broken heart. I hold on to that loss and let it help define my personality. It helped make me harder instead of softer and more blessed and more wealthy for having had that relationship. I didn't have to forgive the loved one that passed. I had to just learn to gently let go over time. And that goes with money too. In 08, 09, when the market crashed, I lost so much money and I was so undereducated. Once again, it took me about 4 months. I say 4 months is sort of a magic number for me, and actually for most people, because we can usually only handle heavy emotions that interrupt our life cycle for about 4 months. Because I think there's a point where you get hungry. You get hungry for life, you get hungry for food, you get hungry for comfort. I'm not saying craving, but a little hungry until it is a craving, and then it gets you back into the rhythm of life. But anyway, I was sick, physically sick, for 4 months. And I'm going to tell you, I was not in forgiveness mode. I was not in letting it go mode. I enjoyed being angry. That was before recovery. Also, because I was always an independent woman, even if I had had relationships, which I have, because of my childhood trauma, I've had some definite attachment style issues. Oh my God, so much to learn. Excuse me. And blend that a little bit without going overboard. Okay. What do you think? Okay. But at about 4 months and seeing my counselor, I was able to realize that I had a lot going for me. I was never going to go hungry. I was never going to not have enough, because that's not my personality. It's not my personality to go hungry. I might sleep out of my car, but I've been poor. I've been very poor, and I've been very alone. And I know what it's like to be lonely, deeply lonely, versus alone. It's kind of moving to recognize how much control we have over our life when we truly have this belief system that we're victims. When we recognize that the math doesn't add up, that we're deeply victims, that unless we've been kidnapped, which I know what I'm talking about. Between professionally and personally, I'm not talking about stuff that I haven't experienced. If you have things that you want to share with me personally, or think that I'm full of crapola, understand that maybe I don't have the same belief system, but I know what I'm talking about for me. And I may change my mind tomorrow about how I think about some things, but I can tell you, I have learned that most of the crap that happened to me when I was young, I was truly a victim of. There was a little bit when I was a teenager that I kind of set up accidentally because I didn't know any better. But had I not done certain behaviors that included my ego and sense of pride and being overconfident, I got those because I had been abandoned as a child. I didn't have that kind of upbringing that would make me learn how to handle life on life's terms with grace. So when I realized, okay, I had lessons to learn, not just recover from the hurt and the damage, the trauma. I had a couple therapists who worked with me on forgiveness, because there was a huge movement in the 90s, 80s and 90s about forgiveness. That did not work for me. Forgiveness did not work. My mind did not wrap around that. And I don't think most humans do. It's not really... Forgiveness has more to do with materialistic things. Like, I'm giving you this because you're going to give me a basket of eggs. but your chicken dies, so I forgive the debt. I just let it go. See, let it go. Right? I don't know. So think about it. Forgiveness or let it go? I say practice letting it go. Drop the rock. Let it go. If that helps, and that's what the one therapist that helped me really with my trauma, she had me do homework. Just drop the rock. Drop the rock over and over again out in my yard to help me understand letting go. I don't know. I gotta go. But thank you for listening. Would love to hear any of your comments. You know how I just jibber jabber. This is sort of my mental health thing. So I just love feedback. Anyway, have a blessed day and try it. Have some fun with your mental health. Have some fun with experimenting. Good things. All right. Mwah. Bye for now.